Hello YouTubers and fellow aviators. Well, today I thought I'd do a quick demonstration on the start up and shutdown procedures for the Jabiru 170. Done the pre-flight and the plane's good to go, so let's go jump in the cockpit and start her up. I like to think of startup as three distinct phases. There's the pre-startup phase, the actual startup phase, and the after startup phase, where we make sure that the engine is running correctly and that the plane is configured for taxi. So for the pre-start phase, the first thing we do, make sure we've got our seat belts on, done up, and that they are secured. Make sure that the doors are closed or as required. And then we do an interior scan, kind of looking to make sure there's nothing down on the floor that's going to get in the way of the rudder pedals or the flight controls here, making sure that there is nothing unusual or broken on the front dash, having a look at the back of the plane just to make sure that there's no loose objects in there that could cause a bit of problems, or cause a bit of a problem if we hit some bad turbulence. It all looks okay. Alright, the next thing we want to do is turn the master on, and we'll wait for that to come up. Just want to log the fuel, any oil added, and the engine time. So fuel, we've got about 50 litres in the left tank there, and we have about 50 litres in the right tank there, and that corresponds pretty well with the digital readout there. So what we also want to do before we start up is just make a note of the engine time. So in particular the Hobbs time here, 2321.7. So that's all good. Okay, so now for the startup. We want to make sure that the brakes are on, that the fuel is on. So we switch that down there. Quantity is sufficient. We've just checked that. We've got plenty of fuel for the lesson today. It's pretty warm, this plane's just flown, so it says it's 46 degrees, so we definitely don't need any choke, but if the temperature is below 22 degrees, then we might want to add some choke. But it's pretty warm, it's probably 26 degrees outside, so we will just crack the throttle open a little bit, just like that. Next thing we want to do is switch both mags on, boost pump on for 5 seconds. We can hear that it's working. Shut it off. We want to turn the beacons on to let people know that we're about to start up a plane. Have a look around, no one around. Clear prop. Alright, hand on throttle. Here we go. Alright, we want to make sure that the oil pressure is rising into the green, which it is. Adjust the throttle for a smooth idle, anywhere between 1000 and 1200 RPM. Okay, next thing we want to do is turn any lights on, so we'll turn the strobe on, avionics on, we'll turn the radio on, it's already on, set to the right frequency, 127.3 for Wollongong. Adjust the volume somewhere between minimum and maximum to start off with, and make sure that the transponder is on, which it is on standby there. Okay, I think we're good to go. Wollongong traffic, Jabiru 5477 is taxiing runway 26 Wollongong. Okay, shutdown. Park brake is on. Right, I like to break down the, well, I like to think of shutdown as, again, as three different phases. Clean up, switch off, and shut down. So in the clean up, I'm just trying to tidy up the airframe, make sure that the flaps are up, which they are. Switch off the radio. In this aircraft, we leave the radio on. Make sure the transponder's onto standby, which it is. Cabin heat, choke and carb heat are all in. Make sure that the trim is neutral. That all looks pretty good. Okay, we switch off. Beacon off, strobe off, avionics off, Alright, shut down. Left mag, right mag. Okay, next we want to do is just log the engine times for the flight. Just noting down the Hobbs time there. And once we've done that, we can turn the master off. Last of all, we turn the fuel to off.